It shouldn't come to a surprise to anyone that Nintendo as a company has become very, very greedy over these past few years. And with the release of the second Switch coming out in just a few days, it really hammers home the fact that things are wild over there and they're just doing this just for the money. After about a few seconds of consideration when I saw the Switch's initial release, I figured I'm not going to be participating in this debacle of going to buy a Switch for almost $500, and that's just at market price. There's way, way bigger prices that people are asking for these things, and which is just horrible because scalping right now is just such a hot topic, especially now that the Switch 2 is about to come out. It's even worse. But there are some other factors for me to think about whenever I decided to spend the money on buying a console for myself. So a few reasons that I don't want to get the Switch is obviously the big one, the price. It's really expensive for the most part. So just looking at the prices here, I have it pulled up on Google so you can kind of see what I mean. Let me show you. So right now on eBay, Nintendo Switch 2 video game console, $700. So this is obviously a scalper for sure, but these guys are hiking up the price so much. This one's almost $1,000, which is just stupid, ridiculous. I don't know where these people are getting their money from, but I guess they think that people are going to pay it, which they probably are going to pay it because a lot of people want that nice Nintendo good, so they don't have the fear of missing out on anything. So that's one of the biggest things that comes to mind whenever I'm looking at Switch prices. The second thing that's just going to be coming to mind is pretty much going to be almost a lack of content in this regard, because right now I think there's only a few games that are going to come out with the Switch itself, and to me, when I see this looking in, the new Switch is basically like a new iPhone. It's the same damn thing, just a bit of a bigger screen and I think a better camera, which I don't even think anyone uses the camera on the Switch, or they could. I don't know. I don't use a Switch. And I know this console's pretty much backwards compatible at this point, which is good and all. I think that's very good. Like, people can just not have to worry about having to buy a whole new set of games for their console, which is nice to see. But to top it all off, even if you wanted to get these games, it's gonna cost you way more than what you paid originally for them. Because right now the game price is almost at $80, which is ridiculous. I don't see why they are gonna go through that. I know it's for, I think it's replayability wise and how long it's gonna take. Almost basically nickel and diming you for every hour you play like it's an EA system. It honestly makes no sense. This is a game console that's mainly used by children and maybe teenagers and some content creators, which I can see. Usually children are the main demographic for these because they are family-based consoles, so everyone can play it. But not everyone has the money to just fork over all this stuff just so they can play Mario for the 50th goddamn time. And then the other thing that's coming to mind right now for the Switch, it's probably just going to be because it's going to be the first Switch 2. And what I mean by that is they're probably going to come out with a newer one sometime down the line, which is going to be like the Switch Lite. It's going to be a bit lighter, going to have better memory. It's going to be way easier to take on the go with you because it's going to be a bit smaller. So there's that. And it's probably they're probably going to mark up the price on that thing even more than what it usually costs. It's probably going to cost about $700, knowing them. I was never really a Switch player. I had one, and about a year ago I sold it just because I didn't play it anymore. I didn't really have fun with it as much as I would, because considering I got a PC and an actual game console that I like to enjoy playing. And the games were fine. They were fun. I enjoyed them for the most part. But I didn't use the Switch enough to have it as a good investment, because usually games like, or consoles like the Switch are good for bigger groups at the time. Like, you can play Mario Kart, play stuff with your friends if you want to hang out. That's kind of mainly what the purpose was. And yes, I know there were single player games. I did play Legend of Zelda, but it kind of just felt like it was not the right fit for me, which I think is a bit understandable. Everyone seems to have their preferences. But for Nintendo to be doing all this and then the scalpers trying to piggyback off of that to make a few extra bucks on the side is just really bad. I kind of just want this thing to die down. That way these things are going to be easier to grab. There's going to be a lot more, and it'll probably be a lot cheaper to do rather than just having to buy one on day one. Because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of bugs coming out with the Switch too, and I bet you anything there's going to be a lot of stick drift happening fairly soon. I know that they say they may have fixed that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I want to see what the reviews say with this thing whenever it first comes out and people start trying it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to just get this out there because it's been on my mind recently, and I wanted to see what everyone else thinks if they're going to be buying the Switch. I'm sure probably a few of you are. I'm not, because I don't want to spend all that money for something I'm barely going to play. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. See ya.